to throw is Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Here's second and 10 now from about the 32.
Cut. Whip.
Now a give, right side. It's Evans. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, that's just running the ball 101 because too much east-west, not enough north-south. Got to get upfield, don't you?
They just kept stringing him out. Before he knew it, he had hit the sideline. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down.
Hey, check Mike 57. It's our time. No, 57's Mike. I don't even know why this team should.
From the gun, it's Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for first and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Evans. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be second and 12.
Brings up second and 12 at the Bengals' 42-yard line.
Ready. 15 on it. Chance. Right side. Come on. Alert 3.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Here's Jackson. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hayden Hurst, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, second and 10. Off play action. Costello is going to fire one deep over, and this will be caught at the 30. And all of a sudden, they're knocking on the door inside Baltimore's 10. A big play there for Cincinnati. And even 60 yards.
Ready to break.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
Greystone, travel.
Don't get nervous.
Hey, box drop. Get up.
Operating from the gun. Costello. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
You gonna see me in your nightmare.
Ready.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
15, 6-6, pull it high. Get it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Costello. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's checking. Crash. Kill.
On 2nd down, it's Evans. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Yeah. Henry, that's it. Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. You go tight. You got tight right there.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Let's go. 8, read.
Everyone got 4 down.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. Successful toss play to the right there. It's interesting. Teams seem to run the toss a lot more to the right than to the left.
It's usually a little more natural. Right-handed quarterback, typically your power side running the ball is to the right side with your guard and your tackle. In college football, they used to call student body right because you had everyone on that side, including the fullback leading. In the pros, they don't call it that, but it's still the same result.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They come out here in the eye. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Mixon trying to punch it in. They're able to get a couple here but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They come out with one back and three tight ends. It'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So we've seen these be tricky from time to time. You know, you've almost got to cut the ball to make it go through. And this time he cut it a little too much, and he sliced it.
Yeah, and he'll tell you, no excuses on this one. It's a kick every NFL kicker should be able to make in his sleep. But your word was definitely correct. He sliced that one, and he'll miss it wide to the right.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Check 13. Check 13.
On 2nd down now, it's Evans. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Nice 57, 57.
55, 55. You're up. 55. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
From the gun, Jackson. Got a man, that's Richie James. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did. As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes were being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. It's free. Don't let him breathe, defense.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. James has got it. Complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jackson now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd down, Nielsen. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Jim. 6 guys. 6 guys.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
At the 9-yard line.
Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 56 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw is Bridgewater. And he's going to go down again. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Kick that. Go. Switch.
From the gun, Costello. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Dante Pettis, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The extra point up and good, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Jackson to throw. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
From the 27, Jackson. That's caught by Kelly. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 45-yard line. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a give, right side. Evans. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Jackson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 28. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A 7-yard pickup. brings up 2nd and 3 at the 21-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hatch it. Switch it. Hey. Rush in.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. I'm scared. Hey, look, 3. Check 26.
On first down, it's Evans. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Check 3. 36.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Evans. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Recon, 132 fighter. Shoot.
To throw again. Costello. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line. Running on first down, Eckler. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go play action now. Jackson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4.
Ready, set.
Mark 57. All day. All day.
Ready.
Off the bootleg. Costello. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
64, get it.
Now Joe Mixon. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. The Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Costello. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
61, matchbox lights.
On 4th down, Costello. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens are going to get the football. They needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Check. check. Check the backer, check the backer.
They'll run on first down. Nielsen. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On first down, it's Evans. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 34-yard line. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. He spins free. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 down.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Able to hang on to the ball this time, and in the process picks up the first down.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check 24, check 24. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Now a give, right side. Evans. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Able to stay in bounds to the clock.